I have got a very interesting video for you guys today. I'm with Chris Gates from SETAG. Hello, Chris.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Very well. Now, we've done a few videos of SETAG refits. The reason we got Chris involved with this one is because this is going to be the most expensive and comprehensive refit I think you've ever done. Is that right?
It is. It is. It is to date. To date. We're growing. We're growing.
Fantastic. So what I'm going to get Chris to do is walk us through this one and talk us through exactly what's happening, and then we're going to follow it. We're going to come down and see the boat when it's completely stripped down. At the minute it's just at the very beginnings of the refit, and we're going to see the finished article as well. So let's go and have a look on board. Now, what boat is this, Chris, first of all?
This is a Princess 72, so it's 2013 Princess 72.
Okay.
We met this owner at Southampton Boat Show last year. Introduced to us through a friend of the business who'd had a boat done with us, a small one, and was impressed by the way we treated him and handled the whole process and the whole design from start to finish. And he introduced us to a friend of his, and we started off talking about a Princess 55, a Princess 64, Princess 68, and we ended up settling on a Princess 72.
Fantastic. Let's go and have a look on board, if we may.
Of course.
Now, I think I'm right in saying you sourced this one for him, didn't you?
We did. We used some of my friends within the Princess dealer network to find the boat. We found it in Turkey. Right. Helped the owner through its survey process, through the shipping process to get it back. So we've managed it from, all he's done is basically sat down with Sarah, our designer, and myself, ended up with what he wants at the end, and we've taken care of everything.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, and we so much so that you'll see as you walk on board here that we started the refit in Turkey. Because the ship was delayed, the mothership, by a couple of weeks. We couldn't lose that time because our ambition is to try and get this boat to Southampton Boat Show. So we sent some of the team out there, and we used some local labour out there to start doing some of the work we could, like taking the teak deck up, for instance.
Fantastic. And we are now, as I'm filming this, mid-June.
Mid-June.
So
yes.
We got mid-July, mid-August, about 3 months.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right. So it's an enormous task. Yep. We've got a very detailed plan, full bill of materials, suite linked to it, full labour plan, as we would if we were building a new boat back in the old days. In reality. Yeah. So it's a bit like a development project because some of the concepts on here are absolute custom. So, we're making plugs, we're making wet bars, we're making lift-up cocktail cabinets. We'll show you in a minute. Yeah. But it is like a development project. So we've got, labour allocated at different resources, different skill sets to hit the deadline of getting us to Southampton.
Fantastic.
So pray for us.
I'm sure you won't need it. But anyway, let's follow you on board. And we'll have a walk on through. So this is what Chris is talking about with the decks. This would have had teak decks here. This has all been stripped off because that's all being renewed. But that is, I think it's fair to say, just the beginning.
It is. It's very much so. Very much so. So, on this boat, it will be unrecognisable. This is a beautiful, what we call a donor boat. Right. So this is in great mechanical order. It's had a fantastic survey. Many customers would look at it and say, I could actually use that boat today. Yeah. But when you see this boat at Southampton in its finished state, it will be to a specification that I call M-Class. It's a specification that would come from the motor yachts classification of boats. So the finishes, the material choices are all very, very, very high end. And you just won't recognise this boat when it's finished. Fantastic.
Okay, so we'll start out here. We've got the cockpit, obviously, which I'm going to guess is going to see a bit of change.
The whole thing's changed. Obviously, all the upholstery is changing. A beautiful high gloss table is going to be here. The overhead is changing because this is a little plane in today's world. So when you've got a choice of buying. We called it the third wave when we started. You can buy new, and that's fantastic. We all need new customers, and they keep the whole industry turning. But the pre-owned market operates at about 6 times the volume of the new boat builders to keep everything going as they sell down through the chain when those trades have happened at the new boat end. Yeah. And when you buy pre-owned, you shop around and get what you're given in reality, and hopefully you get a boat that's of your dreams. But in this case, the owner could buy new, but he understands the benefits the financial benefits of buying pre-owned, but he wants that new boat feel and finish.
Yeah.
So that's why he's come to us.
Fair enough. So, and the choice as well, of course.
Oh, the choice is endless. You see some very, very personal choices on here. That again, you would have only had if you were buying a boat of multi-million pound value.
Yeah. So you're into the custom world, really, aren't
Absolutely
you?
custom. Yeah. Absolutely. You'll see in the owner's cabinet you've got a hand-sewn silk mural.
Right.
So it is very, very custom. Very custom.
Brilliant.
So this overhang's being modernised.
Yep.
All new lighting around. Obviously new teak decks. All the teak throughout the boat's being replaced. Then if you come into the saloon, now this is a great size, fantastic size. But virtually everything you see in here is changing. Okay. So when you come in the halfway through stage, you'll see all the headline will be down, all these side linings will be out, all this material's changing. Mm-hmm. The sofa's changing, this unit's changing, the bulkhead covers. This sofa you won't recognise at all. This is being taken off and we're building a new one. All the galley configuration is changing. The headlining all the way through will be completely modernised. This unit is coming out completely, and a new rise and fall cocktail cabinet's being put in there. Okay. And I'll show you in the design. It's interesting we'll share with you some of the design steps. Yep. And you'll see that in its iterative format as we're building it up with the customer. And the material choices are there, so you've got beautiful stone surface on that bar, and you press the button and up a cocktail cabinet will come. Lovely. So again, new table here, completely modernised and refurbished. Seating here, it's changing the shape, the profile. New galley top, all new hardware. So taps, hob, cooker, dishwasher, fridge, freezer. So when the customer's in use with him and his family and his friends, it will have the look and feel and smell of a new boat. One thing you can't get over on the video is, when you've got a 10-year-old boat, they smell like a 10-year-old boat. Yeah. And there's something beautiful about picking up a new car or a new boat that smells new and stays that way for a number of years. That's what this will be like when we've finished. Excellent. So, all new crockery, cutlery, all personalised, all very, very high end, all Christoffel. That's from where is that from? I think it's from Harrods, to be honest with you. Okay. New seating, all the helms coming out, so everything you see in brown will be changed. All new navigation kit, all the electronics is being checked and double checked. Some of it's being reconfigured. The trivial things like steering wheels and things like that you'll see change over time, but you just will not recognise. You've seen, hopefully many of your followers have seen Stella. Stella's a beautiful boat we did a year or two ago now, and it's very much along the line of Stella with some very personal elements added to it that this customer particularly wants. Right. So fantastic. Let's have a look downstairs, shall we? Come on down. So when you come down here, and we're changing all the carpets, obviously. So yes. This boat, the first time I've walked through about this with my shoes on. Yes, it doesn't really matter, does it? It feels very odd. It feels as if you're doing something very naughty. Indeed. But the boat only arrived with us literally yesterday evening. Right. So we picked her up off the mothership from Southampton. We've been tracking her back for the last 3 weeks. It's been a bit slower than we wanted, but nevertheless we're here. So again, all headlinings, all bulkheads. The bonding system's being changed. There's a fault with that, so we're sourcing those components for new. We start off in the VIP because it's probably easier up this end. But again, headlinings, blinds, headboards, wall coverings, porthole liners, this will all come out and is all being recovered. And it's not just being recovered, there's a personal design to it that elevates its standard. So you just won't recognise it.
So it's fair to say this is going to be better than new.
Oh, it will have the same feel as new, but the class of components that we're fitting are from a boat that is of probably 3 times its new value.
Right.
So you're taking, on this bulkhead in the VIP head, for instance, there's mother of pearl Uriel on there.
Right.
And that is stunning. You just look at the sample and it is just beautiful materials, and you can feel the difference those materials make. And what was there today is very nice, but when you'll see it when it's finished, it's just absolutely miles above the standard of a new boat build.
Wow.
And that's what you can do when you're doing a one-off.
Yeah.
You know, you can give the customer that attention. You can give the customer, he gets a dedicated designer or 2 designers on this project all the way through. That's a constant dialogue of choice. Constant. And of course, managing that is a pretty tough process, because everything's got to match, everything's got to be perfect, everything's got to be happy that it'll survive in the marine environment, because we've learned those lessons over time within the experience of the team. But that's what we love, that's what we enjoy, that's what we enjoy doing.
No, fair enough.
So in here, new toilets, new toilet pipes, new holding tank. He's having an additional holding tank fitted.
Yep.
All the hard surfaces are changing. So again, as far as everything you look and see in there, all new.
Right.
And the same goes for the day head. That was a late addition, but we're putting the day head to the same specification. So every hard surface you see, every headlining you see, all the fittings are being changed, and most importantly on the toilet systems, all the toilet pipes, all the toilets are being upgraded. It sounds a little bit of a repeat message, but it's broadly the same in every cabin.
Right.
Everything you can see and touch is being changed. Head linings, side linings, porthole linings, blinds, carpet, mattresses. We're supplying personalised bed linen. You'll see the subtlety of that when we show you the boat when it's finished. Every piece of bed linen will have an individual hand-sewn logo on it that identifies it to a cabin.
Oh, okay, wow.
So that's from the super yacht world.
Yeah, indeed.
That's really from the super yacht world, and that's the theme of this boat.
Right.
Everything is like you'd have in super yachts. So the crockery I spoke about just now, the last time I supplied crockery like that was to a Princess 40 metre.
Right.
As an upgrade to standard.
Right. Okay.
So that give you a flavour of the feel of this boat when it's done.
Yeah.
It's full of those sort of materials. New television, obviously. We're putting Bang & Olufsen audio system throughout the boat, which is as good as it gets.
Yeah.
As good as it gets.
And what about this woodwork?
Well, a lot of the woodwork, it's the same theme on many of the older boats. The woodwork is lovely, and this condition of this woodwork is exceptional. It's beautiful, but there's a little overpowering. So when we were designing boats back in that time, the mindset was the more timber, the more luxurious feel.
Okay.
Today, when we tone the timber down by reducing the volume of timber, it actually gains in value, because you start to see the lovely timber then, rather than it just being a bland surface of wood, wall-to-wall wood.
Right, with you.
So I would guess throughout the boat, probably 60% of the timber will disappear. We'll cover it with beautiful materials.
Okay.
But the balance of it will absolutely shine through. And obviously, if anything needs repairing, it will be repaired.
Yeah. So what you're doing basically is making a feature of it.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Where it was a conscious decision back in the day. Yeah. It was very much a conscious decision, but in today's world, it's what makes it look a little old-fashioned, and you end up with it feeling more luxurious with a little bit less of it.
Understood. Excellent. Right.
So services throughout, it's having a complete upgrade on air conditioning. Mm-hmm. A new air conditioning basically wants to double the capacity of the air conditioning.
Okay.
It's going to a very hot place,
right,
and wants to be very comfortable. And this has got the lowest entry spec from original build.
Yep.
As I say, all the audio visuals changing. Exactly the same in this cabin. Everything you can touch and see is being replaced.
Okay.
And you know, today this boat's in very, very good order, in truth, and that's what makes it such a fantastic donor boat. And there's lots of them out there like that that have been lovingly cared for, but it very much is old-fashioned. And you know, once we're finished, it'll be the star of the show, I'm sure.
Fantastic.
I hope.
Yeah. Well, we should look forward to that. One more to go then.
Yes. So down here there'd be something that these are changing into wine lockers.
Okay. The laundry facilities, I think.
Well, there's here and in the crew quarters.
Okay.
So these are spec for that, but these are just actually two big cupboards.
Oh right. Okay.
It was an option back in the day.
Right. Gotcha.
Now this is going to be an exceptional cabin.
It looks like you've started already.
We've started already. We had a couple of guys out in Turkey working on her to try and catch up some time, and they've done some work in the bathrooms, which is where these sinks have come from. But again, all the ceilings out, all the window back to the hull, basically, back to the fiberglass.
Yeah.
Everything comes out, and then everything will be redesigned and put back in again. So this changes to a beautiful leather top. These coverings all change. Different chair here. This complete bulkhead is changing in its function. So here we've got a lovely hand-stitched silk mural going on there. That's being made for us at the moment. Mm-hmm. All this changes. This is being leather covered. The TV unit, back when this boat was originally built, a 30-inch television was a big television. Now a 55-inch is the norm, so there's a big 55-inch coming in here, 65-inch being put upstairs.
Wow.
And again, the same treatment where if you look at that back bulkhead, Nick, you'll see that it is wall-to-wall timber.
Yes.
And it looks lovely, but it just overpowers. So when you return and have a look at her during build, that central column will be all in some beautiful materials with a lovely 55-inch television in it. It will have a lovely Bang & Olufsen sound system in here, and every surface, including the carpet, is of that 40-meter level. Right. So you very much will feel that elevated quality level.
Yeah.
So the bathrooms, and again, it's similar. We started in here, as you can see. Similar level of design detail in the bathrooms. All the flooring's changing. The sanitary ware, all the switches and sockets, all the lighting is changing. All the lighting's changing in here. Most of the lighting's changing through the boat, actually. But this will have a lovely mother of pearl feature in it. Where you see laminate today, that will be stone. Okay. So again, this elevated specification, very personal. All new sink tops are going in, as you can probably gather. So you just won't recognise the level of quality.
Fantastic. That's great. Okay. What about mechanical things, engines, that sort of stuff? I'm guessing the boat's not actually that old, is it?
No, the boat's 2013, so it's about 1,000 hours on the engines.
Okay.
So we're doing all the servicing. So new air conditioning is going in. Yeah. Engines are having a 1,000-hour service. They're being given a full overhaul by Caterpillar. This is the C32s in here.
Oh, okay, nice engines.
Lovely engines. All the shaft logs, stern gears, all being coming out, all being cleaned, being changed. New shaft seals going in. What else are we doing engineering wise? Anything that can be serviced is being serviced. There's additional pumps being put in. There's backup pumps. very much in the meter boat mentality, that this boat is going to be, it's going to be run by an owner, by an individual, and we want to make sure that that's, it's going to be, never let him down, never let him down. So sure. That's our goal.
Fantastic.
So no, huge project. Huge project.
And what about the outside, flybridge, that sort of thing?
Flybridge, a lot of personal items going on the flybridge.
Awesome. I'll follow you.
Pray for is that we get weather like this one.
Well, there's that, yes. At least it's the summer, I guess.
That'll help a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
So again, when you look at this boat in profile, I think this boat's got a gorgeous profile.
Right.
But what very much dates it, this is aft rail.
Okay.
This aft rail is a little old-fashioned now. So this is being changed for a complete new modern aft rail, full glass back. The sun pad isn't wanted, so this is actually a moulded feature. This is actually moulded in the deck.
Right.
So we're taking that away. We're putting in a beautiful new bar here, and fridges back here, because there's going to be a lot of entertaining on this boat.
Yep.
Some beautiful chairs to sit on the aft end. Same's happening with that bar. The table is a stunning high gloss table, full new navigation suite, new radar, the foredeck is being obviously all new upholstery through here.
Yep.
New canvases for the hard top, that's all being serviced. New motors for that, because they're delicate to say the least. So again, you won't recognise this area, because it will look and feel like any new boat should do at any international show.
Right, right.
So that's, when you walk on board, you will feel that it is competitive to anything that was at Cannes Boat Show, for instance.
Yeah. Okay.
Of today's standard.
Wow. And here, the helm position?
Everything you see is being changed.
Right.
Everything you see is being changed. New throttles, new controls, new switches, new radar, steering wheel, seating, everything. All the lighting up here, all the lighting up at low level. So again, a very, very comprehensive job.
Fantastic. Excellent.
And foredeck, exactly the same story.
Right.
To be honest with you, we're designing a different mechanism for the aft end of the sun pad, so that it's a bit more comfortable, and then some beautiful seating around there, lovely table, new decking, sun awnings throughout. So you'll see a huge difference.
Brilliant. Okay, let's go and have a quick look just for completion in the engine room and the crew cabin, and then I think we'll have covered it fairly well, and then it'll give us a really good base to then see the progress, which I'm excited about. So crew cabin here with the two singles, which is very typical for this size and style of boat.
It is, and again, the boat is a perfect layout. This is one of the strongest boats I ever built at Princess. We're very, very successful with it, and the main reason for that is because it's got that lovely. It was the first boat with that lovely flat floor all the way through in the saloon.
Yep.
So it give you that real big open feel, and the space on it is generous everywhere. Nothing feels compromised anywhere.
No.
So
exactly.
because the owner has chosen to go the third way, he's been able to actually have a boat that's probably one or two steps bigger than he would was intending to.
Okay.
Because he could find his way there financially.
Yeah.
So, so no, we're very fortunate.
Excellent. Let's have a quick look in there. This is a big space, actually, isn't it? Even in here, everywhere in here is well proportioned.
It
like
is.
You say.
It is. It's a fantastic model.
Yeah.
And you know, it becomes easier on the bigger the boat. In truth,
Of course.
The smaller ones are the real tough ones. But you know, it's got everything on it. All the stabilizer systems being fully refurbished.
Okay. Is it fins on this one?
It is fins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Generators being serviced. As I say, we're putting in additional capacity, new water makers, new spot wash. You know, it will have that feeling of a new super yacht.
It's going to be a mini super yacht, isn't it? That's
It
basically
is.
where we're
It
going to
is.
end up. That's the plan.
It is.
Let's have a quick walk through here. Yeah, these are big meaty engines. These C32s you see on all sorts of really big boats.
Yes.
They're big engines for this size boat, actually, aren't they?
They are, and these were the mainstream of big boat engines for a long period of time.
Yeah.
A long period of time.
Yeah.
And are very, very good.
Yeah. Fantastic. Good. Okay, let's wander back out. I think it's probably worth mentioning, just because we've touched on it a few times, but in a previous life you were the managing director of Princess Yachts, I believe, weren't you?
Yeah, well, I was the managing director for 10, 12 years, something like that. And I was what you'd call their chief operating officer for 20, 25 years before that.
Excellent. I think it's worth pointing that out, because we talk a lot about back in the day.
I can't help it. You know,
no, of course. It's your history, isn't it?
A lot of love for that company.
Yeah.
No, it's and you know, it's in truth, it's just unsurpassable experience.
Yeah, of course. No, fair enough.
And a lot of the team are Princess heritage.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Okay, last question. This is the big one. What's it going to cost to do all this work?
It's always so difficult, because we'll do 20, 25 refits this year.
Right.
Ranging from probably the smallest one will be £10,000-15,000 up to this one, which will surpass everything we've done.
Okay.
And I think this will be nudging over £1 million.
Right.
But the specification choice is off the scale.
Yeah.
And I think you'll feel that. I think you'll feel every bit, because what we're about is value. That's what it's about. So people do focus on the price, and understandably. To build the boat, to have a new boat of this spec, he'll still be spending half the money that he would on buying a new boat to a similar specification. He'd be spending less than half the money. He'd be saving a significant amount of money.
Yeah.
But it is incredibly comprehensive refit. You know, you're down to, coffee makers, bedding, towels, crockery, cutlery. Never mind the simplicity of changing the sofa. So it is very, very, very comprehensive, and you'll see some of that as we go through over the next few weeks.
Brilliant. Well, I'm looking forward to coming down again and seeing it completely stripped back. So if you give me a shout when that happens,
of course,
we'll come down. But that has been.
Look forward to it.
That's been an education, Chris. Thank you so much. That's much appreciated. So there you go, guys. That is the project for this year. As I mentioned, we're going to follow this one. We're going to see the boat completely stripped down, and of course, we're going to see the boat when it's finished. As ever, let me know your thoughts on that one. As ever, thanks for watching, and as ever, we'll catch you on a new one of these very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.